Hello everybody. You should all know me by now, PC Game Player 55 here. And today we are reviewing all of the Legend Team's small vessels that are literally lined up right behind me. So today we are going to be starting with the ones up front for the small ships, and then we're going to go to the ones in the back. So, first off, let's start with this small bunch right here. Starting from the top. Well, all of these are different variations of the LTSS Scout, which is a Legend Team scouting vessel / tow vessel. So, this one here, let me actually flick on its lights. That don't help. So this here is the Scout Spec Ops version. This one is designed to go undercover and look for targets of opportunity or scout out objects while remaining undercover. Radar remains off, and anything that really gives it away is pretty much null and void. Unless they see it coming upon the horizon. Now, here is the first variation of Scout. This is the original Scout. Let me undock it real quick from going below. Try not to damage anything. Yeah, but this is the original version. As you can see, they're identical. But the Scout is basically a scouting vessel. I'll get to that one down there in a moment. This one is actually designed to stay back at base and help tow small objects that are too far away from the base or that need to be towed back and dealt with. The Spec Ops version is to go out and scout out enemy targets. Now, this one down here, this is the bread and butter. This, well, actually, this one really isn't anything. It's just a gold reskin of these two. This is just a black reskin of that one, but designed for going out and looking at the things. It'll get more Spec Ops-y the more and more I work on it later on, though. But the gold edition is just, well, no, I missed one. Missed a bit. Hold on. There we go. I gotta take a blueprint of this again real quick, and I gotta turn its bloody lights off. But yeah, that's the gold edition of the Scout. So we can remove all three of those now since they're no longer needed. Now these three. These three are actually identical. I'll start with this one here. Undock it here. I can't really move the other two because they're, as you can see, they're atmosphere based. But this is the heavy tow variant. This one is actually designed to go out and tow things that are a lot more heavier. It's still the same small ship grid, except it has larger engines to keep it afloat in a way. Which is why the other versions are basically the same way. That one is just a recolor because I haven't actually gotten all of these with the proper colors as of yet. Speaking of colors, let me remove that one since we're done with it. And this is just a gold reskin. So yeah, the heavy tow is meant to go out and basically tow things that are a lot heavier for the normal Scout vessels can't. Now, to the bread and butter. We have on this side, we have the Grinder 2.0. The 1.0 version didn't have as much batteries or gyros as this one does, and of course I got a better paint job. The Fixer is just basically that one, except with welders instead of grinders. And these are just the gold versions, so you can remove those. Those are pretty much all done. Alright, now moving from top to bottom, starting with the little guy. This here is the Legend Team Remote Control Miner Drone, or as I like to call it, Buddy. Yeah, I know it's a little weird. I missed another color in the spot. And I don't have the right bloody colors. Hold on. Anywho, so now, let me take another blueprint of this real quick. But yeah, that's the RC Miner Drone, also known as Buddy. It's basically the same thing as the Anti-Hero League Miner Drone, except with a recolor. Now, you should all recognize what this is. I also reviewed the same exact design with the Anti-Hero League. This is just basically the same ship, but with the different color and other cool things, so yeah. Alright, so these are just two of the same thing. I'll talk about them both at the same time. This is the Space and Atmosphere version of the Cargo Freighter, the upgraded miner for the Legend Team. And since you needed a miner that could actually go longer distances and mine a lot more there, and I'll explain that one after I explain these. They designed this one. And of course it also has a projector. So that any bits that get dinged off, like a, like one of those, or an engine, or a cargo container, or the light, the beacons, the ore detector, etc. All of it can be replaced with the projector on it. So that's basically the Cargo Freighter. Now, this is the Ore Finder. This is a stay-at-home mining vessel. It's not meant to do much due to it only having medium cargo containers. But other than that, the ship actually works really, really well. And yes, it does have a reactor right there, as you can see. But this thing was designed to stay back at home base and basically, well, mine ores, basically. That's all it was designed to do for home base. Now, this here is the VTOL. This is the actual VTOL, not like the other one that I repurposed for the Anti-Hero League. This one is the actual legit VTOL that the Legend Team confiscated from the other guys, the G-Corp people. They confiscated this and basically turned it into a atmosphere tow vehicle that cannot go left or right on its axis. Alright, I'll talk about these two at the same time since they're basically the same design except the other one's a little bit more modified. This is the Ladybug, left, and the Dragonfly, right. These two ships are meant for in-atmosphere for a later thing that's coming up very, very soon with a friend of mine. This one is designed to basically escort and protect this one. This one is actually meant to be escorted by two of them, and it's actually meant to go out with an atmospheric mining vessel, or at least you can go out by hand and take this with you, since it has a singular turret, and you can mine up ores, which you can stuff. Let me go in the back here. This is why it's called the Dragonfly, because of all of these cargo containers in the back. And I'll get into the reason why it's called the Dragonfly. You see, the reason being is because it was meant to this one wasn't meant to have two. Oh, it wasn't. And of course, this is actually based off of a Spart atmosphere drone that I basically took the remains of and completely modified. This one is an upscaled and modified version of that, meant to carry ores back and forth, well, back to your main base and vehicle and whatnot. That's basically top row and front row done. Now, to the last row. This is just an A-10 Warthog. Fighting plane that is meant to be hooked onto a starship that has warp capability. It cannot be docked within my largest thing because of the wingspan, and yeah, that's pretty much it. Oh, this thing. I'll get into why this thing is fun. This is the Wizard. I know, a weird name. The reason why it's called the Wizard is because it is meant to make things disappear, and it's a vertical miner. So basically, we have drills all on the bottom, and it's meant to basically mine out different things, and it does have lights. And of course, I actually have the tiered system on this, so it can go fast. As you can see, it has a lot of downwards thrust. So that's basically it for the Wizard. Now these three are fighters. I'll get into this one first. This is the LTSS Annihilation. This is my first ever fighter that I ever made for Space Invaders. It has a shield, it has guns, it has maneuverability and whatnot, and it's a blocky small ship design, but hey, what can you do there? I'm just meh. Yeah, there's the shield generator stuff there. So yeah, that's basically the Annihilation, my first fighter. Now these two. I'll go over this one first. This is the Destroyer class. This is the Legend Team's answer for attack fighters. It is meant to go out and bring devastation to the enemy, and of course these bottom... I don't think the bottom guns actually work. Hold on. I need to go to the OKI guns. Okay. Okay. Nope. Okay. Alright, the error that I have here will be fixed in like 30 seconds. Give me a second here, fellas. I need that. I need you. Oh, I can't even fix that at all. Okay, never mind. I'll just chop that off and leave it there. And of course I gotta do the same on this side now. Alright, well, that's a much brighter red than I was thinking it was. Anywho. Oh, wait a minute, no, this actually need to be showing. Hold on, guys. I'm gonna pause the recording here real quick. While I'm trying to fix this thing. Be back in a moment. And we're back. Alright, so the Destroyer is basically the attack fighter for the Legend Team. That's basically what it is. And of course I had to heavily modify this ship, which is why it has these on the aft section now, which are large hydrogen engines. And of course, these bits actually house batteries for the vessel. Alright, now, this is the Striker class. This is one of my other fighters. This is the defense fighter for the Legend team. And yet, in the end, you might want to be asking, wait a minute, if the other ship is an attack fighter and yet it has a turret, why isn't it the defense fighter, and why isn't the Striker class the attack fighter? You actually pose a really good question. I don't know why I did that, but you know what, it works. But this is the one vessel that is the defense fighter for the Legend team. Wait, did I just take another blueprint of it? Was I? Yeah. Alright. Well, that's pretty much that for the small ships. I will be getting to the large ships in a moment, so give me a minute, fellas. I will be right back. And we are back. So, here is the Arcane class cruisers. I'll talk about these both. So, basically, these are ships that were made for universal roles. This one, however, is for space, as you can tell by the hidden ion engines up here. And this one is for atmosphere, because of the hidden atmosphere. But they both have hydrogen in the aft, so it can escape atmosphere really easily if it wanted to. I made these both because I made this one an atmosphere because it was for atmosphere only, and this one was for space after I really relocated this to space after I realized that the large hydrogens back here were able to propel the ship fast enough to actually go into orbit. So that's pretty much why the Arcane class is universal. That's basically it for the Arcane class. And I will be back in a moment. I gotta spawn in another Legend team vessels. Alright, and we are back in what the hell? Go away. Alright, so I'm gonna go from left to right here. This is the Conway class. No, this is the Escort. This is the Conway Escort, or known as the LTSS Conway. This is one of the more powerful cruisers that I actually have because of the large guns on it. It doesn't have much armament, because these are actually meant to deal more damage than those, because those are just point defense in a way. The ship is actually meant to stay a long distance and snipe. That's basically it for the Conway. Now, this is the LTSS Mallet, my strike cruiser. And the reason why it's called a strike cruiser is because of these guns on the front here. These forward arc burst guns are actually meant to take out vessels with ease. And it also has broadside guns, so it's basically a broadside strike cruiser. The LTSS Dragonthorn is basically a broadside corvette with all of the broadside guns that it has. Can't really do well in combat, isn't really fast even though that it is a corvette. This is the LTSS Gladius, the Legend team's cruiser. Not much can be really said about this thing. This thing is kind of thin. Has two 50mm bursts and some eye guns, and it also has a nose cannon. Why? Because raisins. So that's basically it for those ships. Be back in a moment to review another. And we are back. So here is the LTSS Scythe. And for all of you Trekkie guys out there, you should know what this ship is. If not, then I'll just tell you anyway. This is the Romulan Scimitar Dreadnought. The Legend team was actually able to coerce the Romulan Republic. We're talking Stowe, not the Romulan Star Empire, because reasons. Anyway, so they were able to talk to to the Romulan Republic, and they were able to get the schematics for the Falchion Scimitar Dreadnought, which is kind of what this is sort of based off of. But it's a nice ship. It's beefy, it's big, it's slow, it's bulky, it's powerful. Alright. Alright, I will be back to review another set of ships. Be back in like a moment. And we are back. And yes, this thing is actually grinning at you. This is the LTSS Hope Ender. This is a battle cruiser for atmosphere, as you can tell from the hydrogen thrusters. And of course, I actually need to do a little bit of modification, which will be quick. Block weapons, where is it? There it is. Okay, hold on, my friends. Give me like a second or two here. I'll go inside and I'll redo the cockpit a little bit. But yeah, a friend of mine suggested that I do that, and that looks really menacing. Sorry that y'all have to witness that, but yeah, that's the Hope Ender. It's rated for atmosphere and space due to the hydrogen thrusters that it has. Now we are getting onto the big beauty of a beast ship. This is the LTSS Battlemaster. This was actually given to the Legend team from its allies of the reformed Dominion under Valerian Minsk in StarCraft 2. But this is more or less modeled from the first StarCraft battlecruiser. And y'all might be thinking, wait a minute, if it's a battlecruiser, why doesn't it have the laser weaponry? There is a reason to that. There was laser weapons on this ship, but they were not compatible with the Legend team's core systems, so they had to unfortunately hack them off along with the Yamato cannon and replace it with that coil gun right there. But that's basically the Battlemaster. And I will be back in a moment to review another set of ships. So give me a moment, friends, and I will be right back with you. Alright, fellows, welcome back. So, here is the Legend Team Ore Carrier, and, of course, the guns on. I'll fuss with those later. But, this is the Ore Carrier. If the flippin' Bofors were to actually stay in bloody place, I'd be happy. But yeah, this ship is actually meant to take 2 ships. Well, actually, if you come to the bottom, 3 ships, 3 mining vessels, out and go take them to mining operations and basically have them do what they need to do there. Their ship is meant to go and protect them while they mine, hence why it has the guns. But that's basically the Ore Carrier. Be back in a moment, fellas, again. I got, like, maybe 2 more ships to review. I'll be back in a moment. And we are back! So, I'll do these 2 first. So, here we have the LTSS Inquisitor. The only reason why there are 2 versions is I will explain right now. This version is meant to go in atmosphere and space. It really needs a lot of work, unfortunately. I haven't been able to get gun coverage down right since I'm bleh. But this is meant to go in space and in atmosphere, hence the hydrogen engines. And this one is meant for pure space, but this is the unmodified version. That's 2.0, this is 1.0. I'm planning on keeping both because of reasons. So that's basically the Inquisitor. Now, this is the Legend Team carrier I was telling you all about. This is the LTSS Endurance class. Well, and of course the carrier is the carry class carrier. Why is it carry class? Because it carries stuff. And this ship is basically the backbone of the fleet because it's meant to carry in different vessels. Let me show you all the hangar bay. Yes, I did the doors a weird looking color, but hey, can you blame me? But yeah, this is the hangar. It's not the best thing in the world, but hey, it works. It can store stuff. And of course it does have shields. And of course the reason why a lot of the conveyors are showing, because, well, this thing is actually not really meant to be in combat, and that's why it has a shield. But if it gets into combat, it has its fighters to protect it. Now, to the bread and butter of the fleet, the main flagship, the LTSS Armageddon. This ship is one of my favorite designs. I built this thing and modified it with some assistance from a friend, but other than that, this is my baby. This is my vessel. This is my ship. I built this thing. I designed it. I had some help modifying it, of course, but still. I love this thing. This is the main flagship of the Legend Team. And of course, this is the bridge, as you can see. But yeah, this ship is one of my favorites. I love this thing, and I never want to get rid of it. I still have yet to make a flagship for the Anti-Hero League for when they're out and about, if... Well, technically they have 2 because of the Dreadnought and the Battle Fortress, or the Flying Fortress, sorry. We'll get there. I'll cross that road later. But yeah, this is the Armageddon. There's really not much to say about the ship. I love it. It's not quite compartmentalized because I'm not good at that sort of thing, but yeah, I will be back in a moment, fellas. Be right back. Alright, and we're back, my friends. So, that was pretty much the Legend Team's entire fleet, in a way. But if you like the video, make sure to like, comment, and subscribe. Make sure to slap that bell notification on so that you can stay updated with more and more of my videos later on, as I do more stuff like this in the near future. But hey, if you guys want to see more Space Engineers content, please do comment below saying that y'all want to. I'm gonna try and make more Space Engineers videos. And, let's see, what else is there? Oh, and